Sony is making an Agent Venom film. This is very, very exciting. So this bit of information comes to us from Daniel RPK, a pretty reliable industry insider, and what he's saying is that an Agent Venom film is reportedly in the works over at Sony. And I think I know who's going to be playing him, because I think this could potentially be in Sam Raimi's universe. Because I remember about a year ago, Joe Manganiello was doing an interview with comicbook.com, and he was talking about potentially coming back, but as Agent Venom. Now, if you guys don't remember, Joe Manganiello actually played Flash Thompson in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, and in the comics, Flash Thompson becomes Agent Venom. Basically what happens is he joins the army, he gets severely wounded, he loses both of his legs, and then he ends up basically bonding with Venom and becoming Agent Venom. Now, here is the article from comicbook.com with Joe talking about Agent Venom. It was posted on February 7th, 2024, so just under a year ago. And he was talking about wanting to play Agent Venom, and then this is the actual quote. So he says, "Would I love to be part of the MCU? I mean, sure, of course, it'd be fun in the right project. I heard Sam Raimi is doing Secret Wars, which we know he's not now. The Russo brothers are returning, but basically a year ago, maybe his name was in contention to direct that film." Then he says, "I don't know, man. I don't know much about Agent Venom. I'd imagine that would be over at Sony," which now we know that Sony is potentially developing an Agent Venom movie. Then he says, "It would be very funny to come back that way." So he was expressing interest in playing Agent Venom almost an entire year ago. Now that leads me to believe that he probably had conversations with Sony more than likely. Because I don't think it's a coincidence that less than a year later, Daniel RPK is reporting that an Agent Venom movie is happening over at Sony, and the fact that he specified here, I'd imagine that'd be over at Sony, leads me to believe, now, I could be completely wrong, but it leads me to believe that he is probably playing Agent Venom. Now, I could be completely wrong. This movie could be in a totally different universe, and Joe Manganiello could not be playing him, who knows at this point. But I personally think there is a very, very good chance that Joe Manganiello is going to come back and play Flash Thompson / Agent Venom. He already expressed interest in the character. He said that would be really cool. He's already talking about how it would be like a Sony thing. So I think there was definitely discussions. Plus, just look at this. Him in that Deathstroke outfit. Imagine just like black Venom goo. I think it would look so damn cool. He's the perfect age for it, he's got the interest in it, and Sony, this is a win-win for them. If they can connect this movie to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man universe, that's automatically going to bring more hype towards the movie and make more money. And I 100% think this Agent Venom movie is going to happen because Sony has to make a lot of movies and shows and everything with different Spider-Man characters because their ultimate goal is to have Null, which we saw in Venom 3, be like the Thanos for the Sony universe. And you are going to need a lot of firepower to go up against Null, and I think that's why they're making all of these Spider-Man spin-offs right now, because they're essentially going to be making like a Spider-Verse team to go up against Null, the symbiote god. And I think Agent Venom is a perfect character to put on that Spider-Verse team to go up against Null, and then you could also put Agent Venom in Avengers Secret Wars. That would be really, really cool. But yeah, guys, there you have it. Apparently, Sony is working on an Agent Venom movie. I think this is a great idea. Agent Venom is such a cool character. If you guys don't know that much about him, definitely go search it up on YouTube, Google, whatever. A very, very interesting character in Marvel Comics. And even if there's a slim chance that Joe Manganiello comes back as Flash Thompson, aka Agent Venom, I think that is just going to be amazing for Spider-Man fans across the world. And if it's set in the Sam Raimi universe too, that would just be the cherry on top. And then if he shows up in like a King in Black movie with a bunch of Spider-Man variants going up against Null, and then maybe pops up again in something like Avengers Secret Wars, it is just such a cool character, they've got to do it. And who knows, maybe they even connect concepts from Venom 3 to this character, like maybe Flash Thompson, instead of losing his legs, maybe he actually dies, and then the Venom symbiote basically saves him and creates a codex, which we know is something that Null is after. Sony could just say that a piece of the Venom symbiote survived at the end of Spider-Man 3, like maybe it was just crawling around or whatever, and then eventually found its way over to Flash Thompson. The possibilities are really endless, but I do think they might try to connect it to the Raimi universe. But yeah, guys, that's my thoughts on the Agent Venom film. Let me know down below in the comments what you think about all of this, and do you want Joe Manganiello to return and play Flash Thompson?